Hey guys, and welcome back to Meek Reaction Reviews, where we react and review to things on the internet, same day, same shirt, different video. And upon a request of one of my viewers, I thought I would return to George Carlin. Usually I wait like a week or so to do another George Carlin video, but somebody said since I reacted to George Carlin video on men, that I should just react to for equality purposes, react to the video on George Carlin on women. So I did a quick YouTube search and I popped up George Carlin women, and that's the one I'm gonna react to. Not sure if the one you were talking about or not, but it's the one I'm gonna react to. Alright, so if you like these type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. It helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, here we go.
Here's all you need to know about men and women. Women are crazy, men are stupid. And the main reason women are crazy is that men are stupid. It's not the only reason, but it's a big one. And by the way, if you don't think men are stupid, check the newspaper. 99% of all the truly horrifying shit going on in this world was initiated, established, perpetrated, and enabled or continued by men. And that includes the wave and the high five, two of history's truly low points. But as I say, besides knowing that men are stupid, it's also important to remember that women are crazy. And if you don't think women are crazy, ask a man. That's the one thing men aren't stupid about. They know for sure, way down deep in their hearts, that women are straight out fucking nuts. But it doesn't just happen. It isn't an accident. Women have good reason to be nuts. The main one being that in the course of life, compared with men, they have far more to put up with. They bear greater burdens. Think of it this way. In the big cosmic cafeteria, as human beings move down the chow line of life and reach that section where the shit is being spooned out, women are given several extra portions. And please understand, my motives here are not selfish or personal. I'm not saying all this stuff to get in good with women, although an occasional blowjob would be nice. But it's not a requirement. It's optional. BJO. Blowjob optional. No, I just think it should be evident to any person who's being honest and thinking clearly that women carry a lot more of life's baggage than men. To begin with, they're smaller and weaker, so they get slapped, punched, raped, abused, and in general get the shit beat out of them on a rather regular basis. By men, of course, who are stronger. If women were stronger, this wouldn't be happening. Men would not raise a hand if they thought the balance was more equal. They'd back down quickly. Then again, if women were stronger, they'd probably be beating the shit out of men just for the fun of it. It's only fair.
All right. I got so much shit by you guys by saying that the last George Carlin video that I reacted to was demonizing masculinity in men. And people are like, no, he's talking about douchebags, he's talking about assholes, which he never actually clarified that in the video itself. I'm only reacting on what people say. I'm not assuming and trying to get into the brain to see what they meant. Again, I can still enjoy someone and respect someone as an artist and disagree with their stance on things. And I know this is a comedy bit, even though it's a bit more serious, but maybe I should just laugh it off and not really think about it. But because of today's age, where it comes to this divisiveness between genders and sexes, it does make me think about it a little bit harder instead of just giggle at whatever he's saying. So personally, I don't agree with him. I just don't agree with him. Maybe before at some point in time it was, but again, I'm more with the Dr. Jordan Peterson idea on this, is that men and women were partners in the struggle of society as society evolved and grew. The people who had it easy were the elite and 1%, and that is a very small, tiny portion of men and women. Mostly everyone else had the slops of the world, right, and had to struggle together. And because women bear children, and also because we have menstrual cycles, yeah, we had to be stuck at home a little bit more. We couldn't go out as a little bit more, but then a lot of that burden providing for the family fell on men. I think men and women equally had shitty situations, but women's shitty situation was just differently than men's shitty situation. I couldn't imagine what it feels like to have all the burden on you to make sure your family survives when it comes to providing for your family with food, and also protecting your family from violence back then, where there were really no laws to protect people from violence. And when it comes to oh, women are smaller, so therefore they get the shit kicked out of them more at a higher rate. But if you look at the statistics and data, men are actually at a higher rate of getting violently attacked. Yes, they're violently attacked by other men, but they actually get violently attacked more than women. And if you take prison statistics into place, men and women get sexually assaulted at almost the equal amount of rate. The difference is that women get a lot of sympathy and a lot of empathy and a lot of white knighting and a lot of caping when men don't. No one talks about men rape. No one talks about the fact that when men are physically abused by their wives, no one takes them seriously and they really have nowhere else to turn to. So I'm not saying that women don't have a burden. We do have burdens, but I think men have equal amount of burden. It's just different. And just because it's different doesn't mean one is more valid than the other or one needs more attention more than the other. You know, women are crazy because of men. I do think men drive women crazy. I do. I think, you know, especially when you're young in relationships, I've been there where I feel like men purposely go out of their way to like rip the hearts out of you and just fucking destroy you and give you all these trust issues and stuff like that. But in the same breath, you can say the same thing about women to men. So I just don't agree with this idea that, oh, women just have it so much worse than men. I think both people have different burdens. Let me paint a picture for you and we're going to get right back into the stand-up or the bit, I promise. There was just an illustration that made it, that said what I'm trying to say perfectly. There was a picture of a woman hanging from a cliff and the man was holding her and trying to save her from the cliff, and the man had a giant boulder on his back, pressed him down, and then there was a snake coming out of a crevice biting onto the woman's wrist, making it harder for her to hold on. And in the caption it says like, both men and women have struggle. The difference is that the miscommunication and you can't see each other struggle. So this woman probably thinks I have it harder because the snake is biting me, while the man is like, I have it harder because this boulder is pressing down on me. We need to recognize each other's struggle as equal, just different. So again, you guys can come at me all you want. You're misinterpreting what George Carlin said. He's totally for masculinity. He's totally for men. And he probably is in a lot of different ways, but he does buy into the progressive ideology of kind of shitting on men, and men are the problem, and, you know, look at history. The world is fucked up because of men. Like, I'm sorry, I still like George Carlin. I don't know why you guys feel like I have to like agree with him or bend over backwards for me to like twist around what he really means for me to still like him. I still like George Carlin. I'm still gonna react to George Carlin. I just disagree with his stances when it comes to gender and sex. It might have been relevant when he was alive, but I don't feel like it's relevant today. All right, let's continue.
A wedding is another one of those good deals women get. The man takes a wife, the woman is given away, her family pays for the whole thing, and everyone stands around hoping she gets pregnant immediately. Pregnant? Hey, another terrific treat for the gals. A chance to gain 40 pounds, puke in the morning, walk like a duck, get sore tits, and develop a nice case of hemorrhoids. What a deal! And such attractive clothing. Plus, she can't get up off the couch without help. Well, it's her own fault. This wouldn't have happened if she'd taken her birth control pill or used her diaphragm. Notice, her pill, her diaphragm. But think of how fulfilling it can be. After all, now she has a baby she gets to practically raise alone. And if she decides to be a stay-at-home mom, she gets to cook, clean, sew, scrub, scour, wax, wash, dry, iron, do the shopping, drive the van, and entertain the guests. She's a housewife, an unpaid in-family domestic servant. Admittedly, that description is a bit more in line with the old model. The new model is so much better. She gets a fucking job so she can be bringing something in. But somehow she still winds up being an unpaid in-family domestic servant after she gets home from the job. You know, the job, where she gets paid less than men for the same work, does not rise beyond a certain level in the company, and gets harassed all day long by some oversexed moron with a lump in his pants. Probably better just to stay home, where she doesn't have to be bothered with that pesky paycheck crap, and there's none of that nonsense about Social Security, pension plans, and unemployment money in case of divorce. Just alimony and child support, if the ex-husband can be located. The ex who probably thought she was looking a little used up and dumped her for someone whose milk glands hadn't sagged yet. Can't forget those milk glands, can we, girls? Tits, two tits, sticking straight out of your chest. In some cases, sticking straight out. Well, for a few years anyway.
Okay, we're stopping it there. Again, yes, it sucks that the burden of motherhood falls on a lot of women, especially back in the day, and especially in different cultures where the father being involved in a child rearing is just not a part of the culture whatsoever, and a lot of just falls on women. I think that's really unfair. And yes, especially back in the day where women had less opportunities, motherhood was really just all you had, and it made a lot of women miserable. But it also made a lot of women happy. Like, again, it's just this progressive ideology of sort of negative, like making motherhood in marriage such a negative thing by marriage is an imprisonment. Your husband now owns you. Motherhood is terrible, and you're stuck with this parasite, and you wrecked your body, and you know what I mean? Yeah, you're sacrificing a lot to have a child. For sure. You're sacrificing your body, your time, your youth, your health, your mental health. You're sacrificing a lot, but that's a choice that you make to do that. And according to a lot of parents, it's a beautiful sacrifice to make. So it's like you can easily turn motherhood in marriage into something very beautiful by just, you know, painting a picture a certain way. You can usually easily turn it ugly by painting the picture another way. Guys are complete assholes who don't take care of their children and don't stick around to help raise their child. I think that's terrible. And so I'm not supporting that, but it's like, but there's also people who love raising their kids. So it's like, if you listen to any progressive super leftist, they say exactly what he's saying. But like, people are in the comment section like getting mad at me for saying he was a progressive or a leftist, but yeah, he was. He just still, but today in 2021, he just happens to also have opinions that now have swung the other way, because that's what happens. The pendulum swings. Labels evolve and mean different things and stuff like that. So conservative isn't what conservative was when he was, you know, up and kicking, and liberal and progressive wasn't what it is now today when he was up and kicking, but he still was a progressive in my opinion. I had a comment in my comment section, I think from my last video, I think it was the Dave Chappelle one, about something about abortion, and somebody said that they think the abortion should be on the mother, which is a lot of people's opinion, but he also said something like we should be more upset with men for forcing pregnancy onto women or something like that. And I don't think he was talking about RAPE. He was just saying like, well, men should stop ejaculating into women and it's their fault, and you know, they're forcibly impregnating these people. And it's like, you don't think women understand where babies come from? Like, what? Boys and girls have the same sexual access to the same sexual education. At a certain age, boys and girls both know where babies come from, and at a certain age, boys and girls both know how to prevent pregnancy. So I don't really know why the onus is on boys and not both genders. Like, you can still take accountability for your own body and not get pregnant. You can't control everything, but in this day and age, there's a million and one ways not to get pregnant. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So again, just putting it all on a guy, I don't understand that. Like, unless you're saying women are stupid and have no autonomy for themselves. They're both people. And I would actually think, being that you're the girl and you have to be the one to either put your body through an abortion, put your body through bleeding, through Plan B, or, you know, have to carry the baby for 9 months, birth the baby, go through labor, go through all the pain, go through all the changes, and either raise your child for 18 years and beyond or give your child away, you would think women will actually be way more responsible and accountable for the sexual actions of what happens in the bedroom than the guy. Both people should be accountable, but you would think it would be the woman that would be a lot more responsible for what's happening, because she's the one that got to go through all that shit and at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm going to continue. You guys can get mad at me in the comment section and say that whatever, but I'm sorry. What he's saying to me is progressive ideology.
Get out. Well, for a few years anyway. Yes, girls, just by virtue of being female, you get to walk around all your life with two vulnerable milk glands hanging out in front of you like lanterns. And if somehow you should get the idea that men don't approve of the size and shape of those milk glands, you'll find plenty of social pressure to have them artificially enhanced. Such enhancement usually will be performed and supervised by men. Here's another physical treat for females. Periods. Cramping, bloating, and bleeding 5 days a month. 15% of the time. And you can add the time spent with premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Men gave it that name. If women had named it, it would be called my several days of shrieking and crying and depression just before my several days of bleeding, cramping, and bloating. Men don't quite see it from that angle. Men experience PMS as a problem for them. What's the matter, Joey? You don't look so good. My wife's got the PMS. Here are some more special female advantages, in case you haven't had enough. Pap smears, mammograms, hysterectomies, mastectomies, miscarriages, abortions, labor pains, childbirth pain, episiotomies, stretch marks, and breastfeeding, and postpartum depression. Can't imagine why she wouldn't feel good. And just to top it all off, menopause. Menopause. More strange behavior and exciting physical sensations. And in exchange for all of this, in exchange for all this abuse from nature, what is the woman's payoff? Why, she's allowed to get into the lifeboat first. At least theoretically. How often do you think that really happens? Oh, and let's not forget, many men are quite willing to hold the door open for her. In fact, some men are quite impressed with their willingness to do this. I'll tell you what a bad deal women got. They're in the majority on this planet, and they still wound up with the shitty end of the stick. That's how big a hosing they got. Oh, and one other inequity I neglected to mention, very unequal, but this one works in women's favor. They live longer than men. And remember, this happens in spite of all the shit they have to put up with. So who do you think is tougher, men or women? Why don't you guess? And don't forget, women have the huge added burden of having to put up with men.
Man, if I felt like George Carlin as a woman, I would be really pissed off, bitter, angry, sad, depressed all the time. Talk about victim mentality. Jeez Louise, things of nature somehow, like, he made it seem like things that we can't help, like biologically, like periods and menopause, is somehow like on men and makes us such victims. Like, I don't know, how about like testicular cancer or other cancers men go through that aren't actually tested or experimented or researched on because no one gives a fuck, or about the suicide rate or mental health rate in men, or like the violence or dangerous jobs. Like, I don't know, like, it's this weird thing where like he just made it seem like men just wispily walks through the world, and women are just like walking around with giant boulders like on their shoulders constantly, and men are just like kicking their feet just to make them trip. I don't know, I just thought I don't like that mental mindset. Again, maybe it was different back in George Carlin's day. I just think that it's easy for people to pick up a banner for something and just put on a blindfold, ignore all the other things that other people have to go through because they're advocating for this one thing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he's not telling the truth about women's issues, it's just like the way he worded it, like, this is why like so many progressive women are miserable, because this is literally how they walk around and it's like see the world all the time, like, my life sucks, instead of being like, it's just the way life is, like, just make the best of it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you have periods, okay? Anyway, I still like George Carlin, guys. Like, I can disagree with him. It's called being a grown-up, to disagree with someone and still enjoy their art. I've always known that George Carlin was a hippie progressive before I even started reacting to his videos on this channel, and I didn't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with any hippie progressives. I can just disagree with their ideology, and some videos I completely agree with George Carlin. I think that he was woke behind his years, like really woke beyond his years, and I appreciate him for that. I appreciate him for his wisdom, but I can disagree. Again, I agree with what he said about women. I don't agree with the way he said it, and I don't agree with the idea that men are just like, has this easy life. Just easy, because, you know, suicide rates are skyrocketing among men, but their lives are just easy street. Then blaming men because they don't understand PMS. Like, yes, if you're in a relationship, you should try to understand your partner, but if you've never experienced something before in your life, it is going to be hard for you to understand. It's just like logic. I don't understand what it's like to have testicular cancer, because I never had it, I never will, because I don't have testicles, you know what I mean? So you can like, beat the fuck out of me, or blame me, or think that I'm some sort of monster because I don't get it. Anyway, I know you guys are gonna be upset with me in this video because people cape for George Carlin and nobody wants anybody to criticize anything that he said, but I still like the guy and I'm still gonna react to him. Let me know. I don't think that was the women's video the guy asked me to react to, because it seemed like he was trying to do like a, you know, okay, he's bashing women in this, men in this video, now watch this video where he bashes women. Put the link in the comment section below if there is a different video that you think this guy was, whoever requested this, was talking about, where he talks about women in a different light, I guess. Let me know what you think about this video, guys. Let me know what you think of what George Carlin said or what I said. It was videos way longer than it needed to be, but I don't know why you guys just got so like in your feels with my other reaction to his men's video, man stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can donate. My PayPal me link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. It helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle, so if you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go in the description box below and also in the comment section. Hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and or follow me on Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And now I am going to go to a music festival and enjoy my day. All right, bye.